When Hormuz starts to close, the Gulf does not stop looking for water. It looks for another coastline. And that coastline is Oman, long, quiet, outside the choke point, and suddenly strategically priceless. Because when ships cannot safely enter the Gulf, Oman's ports become the region's emergency doors to the sea. Sohar, Duqm, and Salalah are not just commercial ports anymore. They become bypass routes, relief valves, and lifelines, but escape routes have limits. They get congested, more expensive, and vulnerable the moment everyone depends on them today. We go inside Oman's ports, the escape route around Hormuz. Oman matters because geography gives it something priceless in a crisis: a coastline beyond the Strait of Hormuz. While it does not control the choke point, it sits beside it and extends beyond it. So when traffic freezes near Hormuz, route planners begin searching for other reachable coastlines immediately. One of the first answers is Sohar, where diverted cargo can still reach Gulf markets. Sohar matters because it is close enough to substitute, but still far enough to survive. Once the diversions begin, alternate ports stop feeling optional and start feeling suddenly strategically essential. But unloading ships is only the first step. The real burden continues inland by truck. Borders, customs, and paperwork then become new secondary choke points layered on top of maritime disruption. That is why bypass routes are expensive. Every saved shipment pays in time and friction. Perishable cargo exposes the problem fastest, because food cannot wait for prolonged bureaucratic logistics redesigns. Oman's real advantage is not one miracle harbor, but a long coastline with multiple options. Duqm shows the strategic value of space, offering deep water, open land, and distance from Hormuz. Infrastructure like breakwaters and basins matters because safe, scalable access is never automatic at sea. A port outside the strait becomes useful only when it also connects to real onward routes. Farther south, Salalah offers something even more valuable: direct Indian Ocean access beyond Gulf pressure. That makes Salalah less a substitute inlet and more a genuine regional ocean-facing redistribution platform. The bypass story begins the moment the Gulf accepts that normal routes are no longer dependable. Data track that shift directly through vessels rerouting away from destinations inside the blocked strait. Every rerouted ship creates new pressure on truck fleets, warehouses, and customs systems ashore. Soon, logistics stops being about efficiency and becomes a contest of brutal improvisation and endurance. Musandam reminds us how close Oman sits to danger, even while offering partial escape from it. Ports work because human skill, pilots, tug crews, dispatchers, turns geographic opportunity into actual movement. Congestion is the hidden price of survival when smaller terminals absorb traffic meant for megahubs. In response, operators stretch hours, open gates, and squeeze more throughput from infrastructure never built for this. A bypass route is not a harbor. It is a complete chain from ship to shelf. Compared with direct Gulf delivery, the Omani detour is slower and costlier, but often still necessary. Paperwork adds another layer of fragility, especially when perishable cargo must legally change destination midstream. That is how empty shelves in cities can begin with container decisions made hundreds of miles away. Medicines raise the stakes further, because strategic ports suddenly become part of national health resilience. The road burden was clear, as truck movements had to scale dramatically almost overnight across Oman. Night trucking proves the bypass never sleeps, making roads extensions of the port after dark. Geography helps, but mountains, heat, and distance still punish every overland bypass workaround across Oman. This is where scale matters. Substitute ports can function, but they cannot effortlessly impersonate giant hubs. Human coordination, therefore, becomes as valuable as cranes, berths, and paved container yards on site. Shippers even staged goods in India and Pakistan, turning the Arabian Sea into a holding pattern. Duqm's open coastline shows why space itself is strategic when enclosed waters become politically dangerous. A deepwater berth beyond Hormuz offers something simple but vital: direct access without the choke point. That same logic explains why pipeline dreams keep returning to Duqm whenever Hormuz becomes unstable. Yet bypass infrastructure is never cheap, because mountains, borders, and seabeds all impose costs everywhere. Salalah proves the point from another angle. Sometimes the safest route is simply farther away. Southern transshipment matters because not every box needs to go straight into the Gulf immediately. Oman often looks quiet on the map, yet in a crisis, quiet geography becomes strategic leverage. Geography even shaped revenues, helping some producers while trapping others outright more completely than expected. Export continuity is never equal in this region. Coastlines, pipelines, and ports decide winners early. Sohar's importance grows because ports matter most when linked directly to industrial and inland systems. Digital clearance becomes crucial once the physical route has already become slower and more fragile. For some cargo, the Omani route means a strange geometry: sea detour first, then a land bridge. When even that was insufficient, some importers jumped to air freight despite the enormous cost. Viewed together, Oman's coastline looks less like territory and more like a strategic emergency blueprint. Even empty stretches of coast carry strategic meaning when they sit outside the main choke point. East Coast export terminals prove that bypass logic is not theoretical. It is already physically built. Oman's ports also sit inside a broader Gulf of Oman relief built with neighboring alternatives nearby. But once essentials like groceries and medicine flood substitute ports, their limits appear very quickly. Overflow yards reveal the hidden truth of resilience. Survival often looks messy, crowded, and temporary. Software then becomes strategic too, because scheduling determines whether limited capacity gets wasted or multiplied. From a truck cab, the bypass feels less like strategy and more like endless miles. Cold chain cargo makes every delay expensive because heat punishes supply chains with ruthless speed daily. Higher trucking prices prove that bypass routes preserve access, but rarely preserve affordability for consumers. Land borders then inherit the sea's pressure, becoming new bottlenecks in the regional supply story. That is why Oman's role is networked. Sohar, Duqm, and Salalah each carry different burdens. Distance matters at sea. Simply being farther from Hormuz can create usable strategic breathing room. On the global map, Oman reconnects the Gulf to open ocean routes when the center seizes. Duqm still feels partly unfinished, yet crises often reveal the value of half-completed possibilities already. Once Hormuz becomes unstable, even speculative pipeline ideas start suddenly looking less speculative than before. Insurers price geography ruthlessly, turning coastlines, threats, and distance into real commercial decisions in practice. The transformation was clear. Previously, secondary ports became frontline infrastructure almost overnight for everyone regionally. That transformation reaches far inland, into supermarkets, warehouses, and the systems feeding ordinary life daily. A restaurant menu can therefore become an indirect map of maritime disruption and rerouted cargo. The same is true for hospitals, whose inventory depends on ports most patients never see. Roads make the bypass real. Without inland circulation, alternative ports remain isolated coastal islands effectively. Salalah strengthens the network by redistributing cargo outward instead of forcing every shipment north immediately. Duqm hints at another future, where repair, energy, storage, and shipping all reinforce one another. Oman's leverage remains subtle, not military dominance, but useful geography in a region starved for options. Distributed routing works because different cargoes demand different ports, distances, and onward connections at once. Crisis geography even changes ordinary roads, turning civilian highways into strategic freight corridors overnight too. Oman's ports act like pressure valves, preventing a broken trade machine from collapsing altogether regionally. The trade-off is constant. More survivable routing usually means more time, more cost, and more handling. Flexible berthing shows why infrastructure resilience is really about adaptation under unfamiliar demand patterns and pressure. Around-the-clock operations underline the same point. Once substitute ports become essential, all remaining slack disappears. Multimodal manifests prove the bypass is no longer just maritime. It becomes sea, road, border, and warehouse. Distance from the strait becomes a security feature when northern routes are militarily or politically exposed. Duqm's future value lies in becoming not only a port, but a whole resilience ecosystem. Price shocks reveal this clearly. Bypass-capable states still suffer, but they suffer very differently economically. In the Gulf, geography decides who keeps loading and who waits behind a blocked throat. The bypass only becomes real when trucks unload inland and warehouses finally receive the cargo. Harbor schedules under stress reveal a simple truth. Substitute capacity must be managed minute by minute. Oman's coast is therefore not just a line on the map. It is a strategic corridor. Different ports attract different cargoes because infrastructure, urgency, and vessel type never align perfectly naturally. Food, medicine, and factory inputs all compete for the same strained workaround system at once. Space around Duqm hints at why some coastlines can scale strategically while others cannot quickly. Regional traffic data showed the same pattern, as collapsing strait flows pushed pressure onto the alternatives. Behind every strategic map are exhausted workers keeping cranes moving and schedules from collapsing daily. Even fuel logistics can migrate inland, proving how quickly one choke point distorts whole commodity systems. Sohar is bridge, Duqm is depth, and Salalah is reach. The three roles of Oman's answer. Safe access still requires management, because a strategic port is useless if ships cannot turn around. Salalah's open departure lanes show what the Gulf lacks in a crisis: unconstrained oceanic breathing room. The regional map ultimately separates producers into categories: trapped, buffered, or partially protected states today. Sohar's relentless crane rhythm shows how little margin remains once a bypass route becomes essential. Warehouses complete the story, because ports matter only when they keep cities and industries supplied. By now, the pattern is clear. Ships, ports, roads, and markets have fused into one detour system. The bypass does not replace lost capacity. It merely preserves enough motion to prevent complete paralysis. Duqm's breakwater symbolizes something larger, a shield built from concrete, coastline, and strategic distance alone. No one Omani port solves Hormuz alone. Resilience comes from spreading the burden across many nodes. The true escape route is an artery involving sea access, port handling, trucking, warehousing, and final delivery. When trade keeps moving from Oman, the region proves it has not been fully sealed off. Yet success creates danger too, because every vital workaround eventually becomes a tempting target itself. That is why resilience is never a clean victory. It is necessary movement under continued vulnerability. Seen from the air, Oman's coastline becomes one long answer to a single choking question. Stabilization is the real goal here, not normality, just enough continuity to hold systems together. Every sealed container leaving the yard is one more proof that the detour still works. So when Hormuz tightens, the camera and the cargo both turn toward Oman together now. Oman is not the center of trade, but in a crisis, it becomes the margin that saves it. That is why Oman's ports matter. They give the region room to breathe beyond Hormuz.